Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Only a few days to go now until the January transfer window shuts on Thursday at 11 o'clock, and Arsenal really need to get some business done. It surprised me, really, that we haven't done anything yet, considering the amount of injuries that Arsenal have. I hear people talking about Tottenham, who incidentally again yesterday got knocked out of the FA Cup, which means they're not going to win a trophy again. When was the last time Spurs won a trophy? I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. And they've got this so-called great manager, Pochettino, who's never won a trophy. But anyway, that's for another day. But they're talking about injuries, which they do have to, Harry Kane and Dele Alli, two very important players. But look at Arsenal, the amount of injuries that Arsenal have had. I mean, we've had players that are not, it's not like, oh, they're coming back at this day. They're out. Welbeck out for the season. Was a vital player. You look at Arsenal right now at the moment, there's no reinforcements in an attacking way, striker-wise, to bring off the bench. Welbeck out for the season. Bellerin gone for the season. Possibly our best fullback, he's been having a good season, out for the whole season. Rob Holding, who was doing a brilliant job at centre-back. He was that centre-back that you can, roll the ball out to. He's brilliant at bringing it out for the, from the back, out for the season. That's three guys that are out for the season. Then you add into the mix what happened against Manchester United, and you start to see why sometimes managers want to rest players in the FA Cup. Obviously, we had to go strong because it was Manchester United, but we paid a heavy price. Hearing yesterday that Socrates is going to be out until at least the end of February, which is a huge blow. Huge blow for Arsenal with Socrates being out. And Laurent Koscielny, it doesn't look like he's broken his jaw, that's good news that he hasn't broken his jaw. But they're saying there, he's a lot of swelling, and they're going to assess it on a day-to-day basis, which means that those two definitely ain't going to figure against Cardiff. So again, a real defensive crisis, really defensive crisis. Now, there was a lot of suggestions that we should recall Callum Chambers, who, remember, is one of our centre-backs who's on loan at Fulham at the moment. Has been having I was chatting to a Fulham fan the other day saying he's been having a pretty decent season, even though they've been moving him around, sometimes playing him as a holding midfielder, sometimes playing him in defence. But we could do with like Callum Chambers back right now. However, we can't recall Callum Chambers. There is no recall clause in his contract. So Callum Chambers cannot be recalled from Fulham. I think a lot of times, from my understanding, is when you put a recall clause in a contract and you send a player out on a season-long loan, that means that the club that's loaning the player pays a lot less money. So hence why Arsenal have not put that clause in, because they want the money, right? Well, they want, the club to pay literally all, or if not all, of that player's wages for the whole season. So Callum Chambers cannot be recalled. Now, will Arsenal then therefore move in for Gary Cahill? Now, I know there's a lot of supporters out there that are like, Cahill, what's going on, Robbie? How are we going to take this guy? He's a Chelsea reject, etc., etc. Look at our situation in the centre-back position at the moment. The only fit centre-back is Mustafi. And even he, he's not the most reliable of player to, I mean, there's Mavropanos who's coming back. He played the other days for the under-23s, but whether he'll be ready or not to come straight in for the Cardiff game. And don't forget, you also got Manchester City away, right, coming up on Sunday. I think Gary Cahill is an option. I know a lot of fans are not going to want to hear that, but remember what we're dealing with right now, loans. That's what we've got. That's what we've got available to do. We ain't got no money to go out there and buy players. We have to loan them. Gary Cahill was left out of Chelsea's squad yesterday in their 3-0 victory over Sheffield Wednesday. He could be an option. He could be a player that Arsenal might try and bring in on loan from now till the end of the season as defensive cover for, you know, a real massive problem at the back. We saw Socrates, as soon as he came off against Manchester United, and I've been reminded by a lot of fans in the comments that Robbie, because I was saying it was at 1-0, that Robbie was at 0-0, which is true. As soon as he went off, we looked so vulnerable. He has been that rock in the defence, if you can call anybody a rock there, but he's been one of the standout players in that defence this season, and he's going to be out until the end of February. That is a huge blow. Maybe Gary Cahill, maybe an option. I know he's 33 now, he's knocking on, but he's an experienced centre-back. And for me, it's better than having a Granit Xhaka in there, who obviously that's not his position. He doesn't even look sometimes comfortable playing the defensive midfielder role, let alone expecting him to go in there and play as a centre-back. So could Arsenal move for Cahill? There's a lot of clubs looking at Cahill, by the way. Fulham are interested in him. Crystal Palace are interested in him. So he's got options, but I don't know. Maybe Arsenal need to look at this one seriously, because there is a crisis at the back at the moment for Arsenal. And as I said, there doesn't seem to be money available for them to go out there and get somebody else in. Now, what about Ivan Perisic? This is the one that has been getting a lot of fans excited. First of all, when they heard about the links on Saturday, these links are real. He was left out of the Inter Milan squad for their game yesterday. The reason cited as, his mind wasn't on the game. He's handed in a transfer request. He wants to leave Inter Milan. He wants to come to Arsenal. That is where he wants to come to. Really interesting yesterday that we posted out on our Instagram that he'd handed in a transfer request, and it was liked by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and that's everywhere today because he's liked it. All these papers are saying Aubameyang hints at move, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I can tell you this, players won't know if a player is definitely coming or not. They'll just know as much as we know at this stage, which is that Arsenal are in for him. So the fact that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has liked the post, he'd like the player to come, obviously, but that doesn't mean that the player's going to come. There's a sticking point here. Arsenal, of course, we know loans. I like what Emery done with this, letting everybody know. He's not done what Arsene Wenger's done over the years and hidden it and said that, you know, we're looking for quality, and if we see... He's told everybody, all I've got money, that's all I've got, loans. So we all know, and we all know, you know, we've all been able to see the mess that we're in when it comes to this situation, but all we've got is loans. Now, Inter Milan want money. Too right would they want money. Perisic is a top player, and Inter Milan want money. They admitted that Perisic has handed in this transfer request, but the Inter Milan boss, Luciano Spalletti, told Sky Sport Italia yesterday, and these are his quotes, he says, "It's quite simple. Players can say what they want, but they are employees. They've signed contracts, and in order to leave, they need somebody willing to pay for them. You can't leave for free with your salary paid by somebody else." Now that, of course, strongly suggests that they're not happy with doing a loan deal. They want money, and it's said to be anywhere between 35 to 40 million pounds. Arsenal want to loan him now with an option to buy in the summer. There are rumours that Arsenal offered £4.5 million in loan from now till the end of the season, and that was rejected. This is going to be one that's going to run up until the transfer window because, as I said, Perisic has taken a major step by putting in a transfer request. Who's going to blink? Is it going to happen? This is one of these classic January transfer window ones that could go down to the wire. But certainly it would be a fantastic signing. It'd be a signing that will get fans excited, even though we know we need defenders. But Perisic would be a very, very good player to have in the team. We're going to have to wait and see. Sorry, that's all I can tell you right now. It's one of those. We're going to have to wait and see. If they can't get Perisic, Arsenal, maybe Malcolm could be the guy they're going for. We know they're looking for a wide player. Malcolm at Barcelona, we've spoken quite extensively about this one in the transfer window. They would be willing to let him go. They'd rather try and get money for him. They're never going to get the £36.5 million that they paid for him. They may be willing to let him go out on loan. But again, we're going to have to wait and see how this one develops. There's also, of course, Denis Suarez that's been the one that we all thought was going to happen. That's been going on throughout January. Starting to look less likely now because, you know, as I said, in the case of Denis Suarez, they want Barcelona, they want to get a fee for him, or they want him to, you know, they're willing to let him go out on loan. But they're saying if you go out on loan, we want you to sign a new contract so that we can sell, you know, at the end of that, you know, we can sell you for a lot of money. Denis Suarez is unwilling to do that. His contract's running down. He's thinking to himself, well, listen, you know what, I'll just sit here till the summer then, if that's the case. And it's a real impasse there. And that one may or may not happen. Again, it's going to be one of those that run to the wire, but Denis Suarez still linked today. And this one here for Lilian Thuram's son, Marcus Thuram. We've spoken about this one throughout January as well. That one's still emerging again today. We know, as I said, that we need cover in the forward positions. There's been no Welbeck. You looked at the game against Manchester United. There was nobody to bring off the bench as regards, you know, a goal scoring forward, and it showed. And Marcus Thuram, who plays for Guingamp over there in France, in Ligue 1, 21 years of age, been having a really good season. Arsenal apparently very interested in him. Would that be a loan? Guingamp are going to want money. He's doing well. Why would they let him go out on loan unless they're going to get a very big loan fee? Again, one of those that we're going to have to wait and see how that one develops. And then there's Pablo Fornals, who I spoke about yesterday, plays for Villarreal, 22 years of age. A very talented player, has been having an excellent season for Villarreal. I just cannot see them letting him go out on loan. He does have a buyout clause in his contract of £28.5 million. More than likely to be a summer move. Possibly, who knows, could happen by Thursday, but we'd have to wait and see how that one develops. So there's a lot of wait and see. We're nearly there. We're nearly at the deadline day, but what's going to happen? We've got a big game. Don't forget, we've got a big game tomorrow against Cardiff. That's huge. That's huge, that game. Cardiff, they've been rested. They'll be ready. They're fighting for their lives. It's not going to be as easy a game as we think because look at the problems that we've got at the back. We should get over the line, but we've got Cardiff, and then straight after that, Manchester City away. Don't want to go there and take a pummeling. We're trying to get into that top four in the league. If we can beat Cardiff and a couple of results winning our way, we're back in it. So Arsenal really need to plan what they're going to do in this January transfer window very carefully. But what's going to happen, we are going to find out over the next couple of days. Thanks for watching the show today. Just before I go, I'm going to big up, right, this is going to seem weird, but I'm going to big up the security guard at Tottenham. This is a really funny story. My son is at MK Don's academy. He's at their under-10s, and they played Tottenham Hotspur yesterday, under-10s. And you should have seen the security's face when I drove in to Tottenham's academy. They were like, what? The guy goes, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I said, listen, I've come to see my son play. Right? Like, he was a good sport, right? So, big him up. You know what I mean? I behaved myself at the training ground, didn't I? Didn't I? I told you I would. Right? So, but listen, thanks for watching the show today, and we'll be back tomorrow on a serious note. We've got to get our transfer business right. It is vital right now with all the injuries that we've got.